This afternoon we host West Sacramento. We're at Horse Creek. Warm-up is at 3 p.m. Game time is at 4 p.m. We'll be in red today. Make sure we visualize our role inside of the game plan as we go through our day. Make sure we get a good stretch. All four of those big muscle groups that we're going to use all day. It's important that we have a nice lunch at least 2 hours before the game time so we can get that to pass through our system. Our starting lineup for today, we'll have Marshall at the 9, Brody and Ryan as our 7 or 11, Julian and Ivan as our 8 and our 10, Yoel as our 6, Caden and Dylan as our 2 and our 3, Wyatt and Alexander Kobo as our 4 and our 5, and Miguel as our goalkeeper. The first half, we'll continue to try to work with this high pressure. We'll try to force mistakes close to our opponent's goal. As this is happening, it's important that our front three understand how that they need to be working together, how our 8 and our 10 understand how they're supposed to be taking away the secondary options. Even when we're working with our high pressure, our back five, our 6 and our 4 defenders need to be realizing, hey, how do I create depth to make sure that as the press happens, we don't just end up with one long ball over the top, creating an easy attack for the other team. In the second half, we'll work with our counterattacking plan again. We try to let the opponents build a little bit to create space in behind. Hopefully this will allow us to be tight and compact, save some energy in the second half as it should be fairly warm in the afternoon, hopefully not too hot. But in the second half, instead of just burning ourselves out, we're going to try to go to our counterattacking plan, look to conserve a little bit of energy on defense. So as we're doing this, it's important that we're moving as a group. If one guy decides he's not going to jog into position, then other people are having to sprint and do the extra work because one person isn't putting in the energy. In defense, we need to make sure that we're creating depth. A lot of times that's our 4 and our 5. One person going to the ball, the other person dropping in behind. But sometimes that means one of our wingbacks or 2 or 3 has to drop and be the deepest person on the line, depending on what happens. Remember, the 4 or the 5 have to come out and stop a guy that's out on the wings. Then that wingback has to replace the 4 or the 5 in the middle. We don't just chase the ball down the line and have a 2 versus 1 where we're trying to win the ball back. We need to make sure that we have the cover in behind. This week we worked on trying to hit earlier crosses, trying to find earlier crosses. So hopefully we can try to do that. That means hitting a cross before we get to the side of the 18-yard box. I remember after we get to the 18-yard box, we got to make sure we turn our hips so we can hit a negative cross away from the keeper, allowing our teammates an opportunity to take a shot on goal. I expect us to be the better team today. If we are going to prove that, we have to be able to maintain possession. That's going to be a lot of looking to break the opponent's pressure, and that's going to be negative passes to our goalkeeper, to our wing backs, to our center backs, making the field big. We win the ball, we should be thinking, okay, how do I open up so that we can maintain possession? Instead of forcing the ball, we should be looking, can I hit a pass sideways? Can I hit a ball negative? Can we work together to break the pressure so that we can take a deep breath and then we can build through our zones, trying to find somebody who's open, and that's the person that's going to try to dribble up the line instead of trying to force something when you're not open. And this will allow our wing backs to join the attack. We're still looking for penetration, so that's not going to be balls in the feet all the time. We have worked on a few different ideas of where we play into our center forward's feet to allow the wing backs to make runs in behind. But if they're not checking back, if they're trying to make a run, if they're making those diagonal runs we've been talking about from outside to in or from inside to out, we have to put the ball in front of them. We can't put it at their feet. We can't put it behind them. We have to allow them to stay on the run because they're going to create an advantage against their defender by starting the run. And if we make a bad pass, we put it behind them, then we've killed the advantage and we're not creating a dynamic attack. Again, communication, talking on offense. Who's open? If we need to make a negative pass, if we have time, if we need to get that ball off our foot. On defense, hey, I'm first to ball. Oh, there's 2 over here, I need help. Or that guy's making a run in behind you. Communication is the key.